Ladies and gentlemen, let me see here. See if I can get this here live going. Let me see. Uh-oh. Is my Wi-Fi working? Okay, let me see. Make sure my Wi-Fi working. Every now and then. That Wi-Fi. Let me see here. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all forgive me. My video guy, I guess you kind of say like producer of the podcast, or the guy who shoots it and edits it, texted me. I put the link in the description to the podcast. So I'm in season right now, just flying around the country, eventually be around the world, and just flying around doing interviews and kind of loading up some interviews, and then I'm gonna release them. And it's just me kind of studying greatness. So I put the link in the description, and I'll upload a kind of like an intro video soon that you can watch the video. And then once we get it all set up and going, hopefully it'll be launching in June at the latest, I'm hoping. So y'all forgive me for that. Now make sure on your question, put the hashtag Q on there. And I had was lotioning earlier, so I forgot took my ring off. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me get my ring. Cause y'all don't like talking without the ring on. All right, y'all forgive me. I apologize about that. It's just when I be doing a video, especially if I'm gonna be answering relationship questions, I feel naked without my ring on. We got 2 minutes single men giving relationship advice. I can't be on here because somebody might just be passing by and be like, "Oh Lord, another single man talking about relationships." No, not over here. We over here trying to live this thing. Yes, now I posted a video earlier today. If you did not see the video, make sure you go see it and share it with the boys on these podcasts that's out here talking crazy. Cause it's just getting ridiculous. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it, because just to see what's going on out here with men trying to quantify a woman's worth in dollars. And it's like, hey buddy, good night, love you. Love you. Like your hair. Just to think about the fact that we really out here doing that. That's mind-boggling to me, that men sitting and trying to count up how much money a woman is valued at. And then to hear the one guy say $600, that a woman will be saving him $600, it just really blew me. Just really blew me. I say, man, I cannot believe this. Cannot believe this. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me put this on my Instagram story, because I don't be always going live for them. So trying to put that on there just to invite them on there. But it's just mind-boggling, you know. And so I really appreciate y'all too for sending me the videos. I see y'all questions coming in. The good thing about this let me stay up where the questions at. But I appreciate y'all sending me the videos about, you know, that type of stuff. And a lot of videos I forget to speak on it. If I don't get to shoot a video right then, I'll forget. But I'll be, you know, looking and catching the DMs on Instagram, and I can't respond because it'd be so many. I'll be sitting there 24 hours a day responding, but I try to go through them and look through it and see, especially when it's, you know, guys just sitting there saying ignorant stuff, you know. And I noticed that other men will start to speak up, and, you know, I saw a young boy speaking up. I mean, he was on something else, but other men are starting to speak up about the ignorance, because a lot of men, I'm not raising daughters. I got 2 sons. So I'm fortunate in that sense. Not to say a man raising daughters is unfortunate, but he kind of is a little disadvantaged because of the type of men that's being raised out here. I feel sorry for people raising daughters, because the men with the voices, the men with the large audiences, is so many of them are so idiotic that the women just gonna have low self-esteem, because these men on here spewing nonsense and got grown women listening to them and calling in and going on the shows and sitting there. I'm like, my goodness, if you got grown women listening, y'all know the teenagers be on the phone. So, you know, all the 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old, 17, 18-year-old young ladies is on Instagram. They seeing these viral clips. And if you're a young lady, you don't know any better, because I'm not going to be in the in crowd, and I'm not going to be going viral, because I'm speaking and teaching on substance. So it take me longer. What I got to say, I can't always say it in 1 minute. And so I'm not going to be going viral like the idiots. So then the idiots going viral, and then the 16, 17, 18-year-old girl, they seeing this, and they out here about to be back in slavery, basically, for what these men telling them. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why these men putting those messages out is because they want them something like that. They want them old 16. Yeah, that's what they want. They don't want no 30, 35 with some sense. They want them a 16, 18, 19, 20, young and dumb. Ain't got no sense. And the man will be around there running around, driving on absolute crazy. And it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's like, if I become the president, man, we doing things different. We starting a slap line. If you say something stupid, we just standing everybody in the line who say something stupid, and we just I'm gonna have professional slappers. We starting a slap line. I'm doing things differently. Slapping teeth out your mouth. Don't even open your mouth to say nothing else no more. If that's what's gonna come out your mouth, we starting a slap line. It's just sickening, man. It's just sickening. I mean, here you is. A lot of these boys got mamas who work their finger to the bone, and then they getting out here on podcast talking about women like that, like they were raised by wolves out in the wilderness, like they was out there eating locusts and honey, raised by wolves. It's crazy. And then it's like, okay, now it's starting to make a little more sense to me, because I was getting upset with these women who have the channels talking about divesting and trying to tell all black women to go to a white man. I was getting upset about that, which I shot the video with a white man asking him his opinions in the general consensus of white men of black women. I haven't got a chance to post it yet, but it was probably about 2 hours long, and every man speak for themselves, but it's only two type of men: a grown boy and a grown man. So it ain't too many variations. It's just gonna be two types. You're gonna see a grown man and you're gonna see a grown boy. Point blank period. And so I'm gonna post that one day because it's a white man talking to me about how in their circle, his friends, his family, his homeboys, the white men, how black women are viewed. And then you're gonna have some white men, of course, on the other side who have the other kind of opinion, but it's only gonna be about 2 or 3 different types of opinions. It ain't that complex. But it's women with channels now telling the women, hey, go on out here and get you a white man. Like that is the promised land. Like that's the holy grail. Like black people want slaves to white men. But when I hear the black men on their podcast saying what they saying, I'm like, well, darn. If I was a black woman, I'd be trying to divest too. I'd be trying to divest too. If I got to listen to an idiot like this, I'm like, my goodness, how in the world you expect a woman to feel safe and secure and protected when black men out here talking foolishness, talking about a woman worth $600. I don't know. I'm guessing he's talking about a week. Sound like he's talking about a month. No, you talking about a month. I was talking about a month. I say, boy, look here, boy. Oh my goodness. I'm finna start a mic snatching club. We finna be in all black, just going around the country, just snatching microphone. Jump bad if you want to. Lay you down. We finna just be snatching microphone. Give it that microphone, boy. And Mike just tap him with it one time before we leave, because this just getting ridiculous. That thing got me. I felt like Jesus when he went into the church and was flipping over tables when I be seeing some of this stuff. I'm like, in the world? I say, man, the way I'm raising my son, they're gonna have all kind of savage women coming at them because these women fed up with these sorry, no good men. And then for the good women, my son's finna have 1,000 women to choose from. Because it ain't gonna be too many young men with sense. If this how they daddy's talking, I'm like, come on now, we got to do better. We got to do better. We can't be out here telling men, oh, a woman ain't worth nothing but some cooking and cleaning. Like, really? It just getting bad. It getting bad. Y'all just, I'm like, man, I try to keep hope alive. I'm on here trying to keep hope alive. I'm like, my good, we got to start having morning corporate prayer, intercessory prayer every morning for these fools. I'm like, my goodness. Why do men test women if they don't want a relationship with that woman? Man, that's what we talk about right now. You kind of see that's why. That's why they testing you right now. Because of the idiot club. I say, boy, look here. We have got to do better. Hi, brother Tony. What does it mean when a guy says he wants to pray for you because you pray for him during the time of his mother's sickness, but that was last year in December and she died? I'm not sure on that one, so that's a little too specific on that one. A little too specific, because that could be Ted Bundy nephew. Why would a man that you are sleeping with tell you in depth about his encounter with other women and the pleasure he brought them include? That's a man who don't respect you. And that's a man who listens to podcasts in the dark. That's a man who he don't care nothing for you. And a man who cares about you, he wants you to feel like and believe you the only woman walking the face of the earth. he really not going to mention other women to you. It's like he wants you to feel special, like the one, the only one, a man who bringing up other women. For one, he needs therapy. Two, it's a sign of very strong soul ties that he have. So that means that if he talking to you about them women, that means he still touching those women, some of those women, or will touch them if he get the opportunity. And it also means that he gonna be telling y'all business to another woman here soon. And so that's what you got to understand on that one. Now on this one, y'all only have to post y'all question one time because it don't just run away from me. I'm able to just go in order. Do you think that these podcasts are influencing the mindset of men today, and that's why it's so much division? I'm gonna tell you what. And that's the best question we done got so far, because we need to be addressing the state of the union right now. But I'm gonna tell you what, it is 100% influencing the mindset, because it influenced my mindset, and I know better. It literally had me sitting there looking at my wife with a side eye, like, oh, God had to check and correct and get me in line. I had to hit my head. I had to wake up and smell the Folgers in the morning, because that is the trick of the enemy. That's how the devil works. Plant a seed in your mind. That's what he was doing after Jesus had fasted them 40 days, 40 nights, and he was hungry. And he went to Jesus and said, listen, I give you all of this right here, the whole world. If you want that, you gonna bow down to me. Hey, can't you jump off the side of this hill cliff and the angels will catch you before you hit a rock? And Jesus had to quote scripture to him, had to tell him, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. The adversary was planting a seed, and that's what these devilish men are doing. They planting seeds. And see, here's the thing. When we say something as a human, if I'm going around and I'm spewing a message to women, and I'm telling women, listen, you are the prize. You deserve a man that is going to cook breakfast for you, that's going to massage your feet every night. You should be able to spend without a budget. Budget should not be in your vocabulary. If I'm telling women that, there's going to be a large sector of women that believe that. And they're going to go and they're going to upend their household. They're going to destroy their household. And so what the podcast is doing is the podcast is telling men, listen, you are the prize. These women ain't worth nothing but that's all they worth is getting on their back. They bring nothing to the table, because everything they bring to the table could be bought, which that's an absolute lie. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Because, if they had a good robot, if they had a half decent robot, a lot of women would be like, hey, get your robot. So when I got a headache, when I ain't feeling good, you could go and climb on your robot. They ain't got no robots made. We're sending people to space, and I ain't heard nothing about no robot that's human like, that's in the budget of these men on these podcasts. So a woman so irreplaceable, they ain't got no replacement for her. But that's how these men talking. Like a woman just is useless. Like she just irreplaceable. Like he just could go climb on another man and have a kid. Like like a woman, heart, spirit, her energy for these children, her attention to detail, her organization skills. These men talking like a woman just ain't worth nothing. And I'm like, I'm finna just be walking around with olive oil and just be praying and just be putting it on my forehead, just because the trump is about to sound. The way these men talking, Lord on his way back. Lord got to be on his way back. How can women support men today, mentally and emotionally, in today's time without overstepping boundaries? Support is your presence, and it's your words. So what a lot of women do that's overstepping boundaries, is when you let a man move in with you, and that's not your husband. That's overstepping boundaries. When you invest money into a man, like big money, I mean like 10K. Like when you invest money into a man business, into him, and that's not your husband. When you sucking and ducking with a D, okay, on cuss, and trucking, and you doing all of this for a man that's not your husband, that's overstepping boundaries. So when you give him money, you letting a man live on you, live off of you, that's overstepping boundaries. Supporting a man is listening to him, asking him great questions, pulling greatness out of him, listening to his answer, not cutting him off, not being condescending, speaking life into him, encouraging him, praying for him in private. If he the type that he like to pray together and you cool with that, then praying together, that's support. Like, and speaking affirmations over him, like, man, you smart. Like, men, we don't hear that enough. Like, man, you smart. Man, you kind of like a genius. And humans, we don't do that for humans enough. And so my wife slipped up today because that's not her personality. But I came out the room with my sleeping shorts on, and I guess you can see my muscles in my thighs. And she said, "Oh, you look good." She said, "I had a double take." I'm like, "Who is this athlete?" I'm like, "What that mean? I ain't athletic." But she gave me a little compliment, and I had to sit on that. I had to process that. Like, oh, my wife just told me I look good. 15 years into marriage. I just rolled off a tongue. I had to process that. Really sit down. Let me sit with it for a second. Y'all give me a second. Gonna order some more of these short. So, now, because this in style, that little bit of thigh, that little bit of muscle on your thigh right above your knee, my wife like to see that. So I'm finna be wild. And I'm gonna tell you what I be doing is now I know she like it. So every time I step, I got to step hard. I got to plant that foot and then squeeze that thigh. So the muscle kind of do that little upside down McDonald's logo. Get that little muscle. I be about to hyperextend my knee walking, trying to flex that muscle every time I hit the ground. Trying to get that good flex because I know she like that. I hope I ain't talking too loud. She watching Brooklyn Nets. I don't watch grown. If I got to work while these men working, they got millions of dollars. I got to be on here working too. So now listen to me. So that's what we need as men, and we got to, and I be telling my wife, just because we got two boys, so it ain't always just gonna come to her naturally to be thinking about it. I'll be like, hey babe, I'm about to hit this milestone. I want me a cake. I want me a cake with this number on it for the milestone I'm about to hit. And I'll tell her that. And that right there means something. I need a reminder because I still ain't got my doggone cake. But so that's what we need as men. I say 90% of men really need words of affirmation because never got it. Never really got it. Aisha, no, this not recorded. Ma'am, that thing say live up there. Now, let me see. Now, how do you know if a man is using you as a cover up? Sister, you really don't know. But if you sense it, then the way a woman's intuition is set up, 9 out of 10 times, if you sense that the man using you as a cover up, because a straight man ain't gonna confuse you. Like, you gonna be able to tell a man straight if he's straight. Now, if a man is got other stuff going on, it's gonna strike you. It's gonna strike you. Now, honestly, I have been around men who I had no clue, and I'm a man. I had no clue. Well, I can't say that. I get a little inkling. But it just still, because sometimes they be muscular, and you just ain't used to seeing muscular men and like big men, like when I like 7 feet tall, 6'5", muscular. You just ain't used to seeing those kind of men be using women as a cover up, just because it just really, I was like, do this even make sense? Like, what you and that man in there doing? What, y'all big? What the world? Y'all in there hugging each other? Y'all having a shoulder contest? Like, what the how in the world you hugging a man with shoulders? And so sometimes it just be confusing. Sometimes you cannot tell. But today it's happening more and more, and I'm gonna tell you why it's happening. It be happening because of the websites. So what happened is people don't understand that lust cannot be quenched. So these men at the age of 12, 10, 11, 12, a lot of these men is getting into these sites and they watching that stuff and they getting in and it's only so long after they even watched it. What I done noticed, they want to start experimenting. So these men, they get bored with them a woman. And then they start wanting them a man who dressed like a woman, but still got old bat and ball. And so I just, cause some stuff that came across my desk, like just emails and stuff women be sending me. And I'm flabbergasted at what's going on out here. I am flabbergasted. Cause when I heard that the men be using Snapchat, y'all know Snapchat, where stuff disappear. The men be using Snapchat. I got Snapchat. Nah, I don't go on there. My son begging me to have it for his 15 Snapchat. And I said, no, son, because you got my name. So somebody be searching you. Somebody be searching me, find you. One of these men be done sent you something. One of these women be done sent you something that disappeared. Do you know it's an elderly Caucasian lady sent me a video of that there. She and when I didn't mean elderly. That not elderly in the sense of what y'all thinking. I didn't mean that. Take that word back. Because now the people who in their 50s or 60s be like elderly. I ain't mean that. I just meant my elder. I meant my elder. But the lady, there's a Caucasian lady, which I have to clarify that because sometimes people think only black people deal with me. This was a Caucasian lady. And I don't know if it was another Tony she was trying to send it to and just not really too familiar with Instagram. The lady sent me a picture. Hey, baby, I showed you that when that lady sent me that of the bear, but Jay, the elderly, the older white lady. I showed you that. You don't remember that? Huh? Huh? What? Wow. That ain't good. Mm, mm. Ooh, I'll talk to you about it. That ain't good. That ain't good. I like telling about something happened to my son friends. Some of my son friend had a little accident, like golf cart or something. But I sent it to my daddy, sent it to my wife. She said she don't remember it. I was floored. And so that's what's happening right now. Because of these websites and these subscription sites, men are becoming zombies and becoming so addicted to the access of nakedness on their phone. But see, lust cannot be quenched. So when you feed into lust, it gets stronger. So these men of today is going from wanting a vajay, okay, hot dog in a bun, to then they wanting them on their woman, then they wanting to enter the exit. Then that ain't enough for them. Then they want to go get them a person who looked like a woman but got the man body part. And it's getting worse and it's just going and it's really they chasing lust. And then before you know it, they all the way out there. And it's all just because lust cannot be quenched. It got to be started there. And that's what's happening. Now let me see this. Hey Tony, you have grades you can give out. Your mentoring has me excelling in self-worth with grown boys. Now men are telling me about my value and that I'm a rare gem thanks to your teaching. God bless you. God bless you. That sounds like an A there. Let me see this here now. Oh, somebody had sent me something up there. Mother, God bless you. It was somebody else sent some. I guess when I scroll down, it'll show it to me. Somebody had sent. I seen $4.99 up there. God bless you, Tony. If I'm ready to invest in starting YouTube channel / blog, should I file for LLC, even though it may take a while to start, build something big? Yeah, you should get your LLC because in a lot of states it's only like $100 to $300 on the state website to file for your LLC. But just having an LLC, then you're going to get write-offs, just your business expenses. So if you go to Tony Gaston Academy and you take the YouTube for Beginners course, then you're going to be able to count that as a business expense. When you get your laptop and you get your camera with your LLC, you can write that stuff off. Just under your name, you're not going to get every write-off that you would get by having a company. It'll be write off some stuff probably, but you have to talk to a tax person. But it's definitely, that's why they create these companies, because you got to remember that was created for people who had rights and people who had access. So what they was doing is like, hey, if you own the company, you're going to get to write off all this stuff. But your employees who are in the 99%, they getting paid to their name. So we taking taxes right on up out of there. And they'll get a little tax return, but they ain't going to get to have all the benefits and write-offs and hiding in the tax code like you're going to be able to do as a business owner. And so that stuff very nuanced. It get really deep. So you got to talk to a, CPA or certified, tax person. But I remember the first time I started my LLC was like 2008. And when I went to the CPA and she asked me what all my expenses was, and I wrote them all down, and I'm added all up, gave it all to her, and I got me a $1,500 check back. It didn't get to me because I owed student loans. I hadn't been in collections on my student loans, so the government took my return on the student loans. I say, boy, I tell you, boy, y'all won't let nobody win. Why do men ask for pictures during the talking phase? A man I met in person was asking me to send him photos of me when I was out of town. Men are visual creatures. And so a man will get that picture and a man will just sit there. He'll sit there and look at that picture 30 minutes. He'll just sit there and stare at that picture and then he'll send it to his homeboys. He'll send it to a couple homeboys and say, hey, how does she look? What you think of her? So it's just men being visual pictures, and visual creatures. And it's just it's like a feeling, it's like interaction for the man. And it's different because I realized that a lot of women don't get the same feeling from looking at a man the way a man get from looking at a woman. So it's like as men just being so visual, you'll see like a man got to be, it's a man who gonna make a woman turn her head and watch him walk. That might be 1 out of 1,000. And I only know what kind of man that is. I never really seen that, except for the little thirsty women who just be dehydrated. But just a regular woman who not dehydrated, she could look at a man and see a man, might think he handsome or whatever, but she not tongue on the ground and just be spinning all around. But if you notice, when you watch men are taking look at a woman all the way, the whole way. And so that's all it is. What is your definition of wife material? That's another topic a lot of these men be talking about. A lot of men are saying modern women are not wife material. Well, see, you got to realize modern women is a term that somebody made up. So I don't know what modern women mean really. And if they saying modern women today, I really don't know what that means. But for me, my standards are different because I feel like when I hear these men today, they looking for a woman that God has not created, and they want a woman to be something that they are not the male equivalent of. And so for me, wife material for me is, can I trust you? Like, can I believe? Like, will you be honest with me? Will you be faithful to me? Will you, can we build on trust and honesty? And humans gonna fail at that too. But it's like, is this a habitual thing, or is this, an environment that I created that I need to fix? And I don't think why, and being a role model. So a woman being the type of woman that I want my sons, or if I had a daughter, to be able to look up to and see and respect. So me personally, I don't like for women to curse or smoke or get drunk or to, like act irresponsibly, like act a fool. Like a woman over 30 still going to the club and drinking and in there smoking weed. That right there, all is totally no go, because some of that stuff can form an addiction. And when you form an addiction to hookah or to cigarettes, Black and Miles, marijuana, alcohol, when you form an addiction to those stuff, toys, battery operated devices, that stuff can't always just be turned off. And so for me, feel like a woman who is emotionally intelligent, who is responsible, who is a role model, who, like, this woman being herself can be looked up to by a 8-year-old little girl being herself. And like how she carry herself is with class and dignity. Not perfect, not an angel, but respectable. And I feel like that if that's what men talking about modern women are just not motherly or not respectable by the youth, which I see a lot of it. I went to but it's also phases. I feel like a lot of women wait to meet a man to change, because they tell themselves it's no sense for me to act, like a wife if I don't have a husband, or to act like a mother if I don't have kids. And I have noticed that a lot of women can just turn it on and off and like just become motherly when they get pregnant. But that's a little, that's scary to me. That's scary to me to kind of, you know, do that. I'm gonna tell y'all that what she said. Now make sure you put hashtag Q in front of your question so I could see that. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I need to. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting rough out here. I'm trying to tell you. How do we as women respond to some of these alpha males who are convinced by the man in the dark without proving these ideologies right? Ideologies right. That honestly, that's the type of man you don't respond to. If a man think he know it, then he think he know it. He think he convinced. You got to go on about your business. You really don't sit there and try to argue, because you're not gonna be able to change a man's mind. A man got to hit rock bottom and hear the voice of God at rock bottom in order to change his mind. And that's what you can't really argue a man out of something that he believe. And so that it's honestly a waste of time. So if you see a man, he thinking like the man in the dark, you got to just take off running. You got to take off running, because it really take a man who has real love for his mother, for the women in his life, who saw a good example of a man from a man. That's what it takes for a man to really understand and respect, women. How do I tell man I'm not comfortable with after one slip up, but still want to date? Or should I just take the L and walk away? No, you can tell them, like, you're not talking to God. If you can approach God, you know, any time of day, you can talk to a man. So you got to understand, just next phone call, next text message, just tell them like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this. Point blank period. I slipped up, but that's not really where I want to be, what I want to be doing. And, can you respect that? It's yes or no. And so the right man, he'll respect that and say, okay, I get it. And now he's already done that. So he know what it's like now. So now it's put up or shut up. Now it's like, okay, you done been down, rode the rodeo. And men always talking about, oh, I got to test drive before I buy. Well, and that's a horrible analogy to talk, compare a woman to a car. But that became a thing from people saying, I got to test drive before I buy. I don't buy a car without test driving it. Then that came, oh, let me check a Carfax. And now God just keep on going. Let me check her tire pressure. How many miles she got on her. So it just kept going. Oh, she got a flat tire. Oh, she need a new transmission. So now guys just equating so many men looking at women like a ride. And you have to be able to address that and just let a man know if that's not what you're comfortable with. The man, for you, a respectable man, he's going to understand that. And he's going to respect that. And he's going to appreciate that. A man who he just think you full of it and, all of that, then that's different. Is it a bad thing if a guy states you remind me of my ex, but in a good way? I feel it is. Yeah, that's a bad thing. That's a horrible thing. That's a horrible thing. That is the dumbest thing in the world, man. Could say it just show you he'll leave you in a heartbeat for his ex. And that means he got a soul tie with his ex. Then you like a therapist. If a man is living a life getting closer to God, says he is living in his truth, told me on our second date he used to have to mess with other men to get money to feed his kids years ago. How should I? Sister, I got to go. Sister, I got to go. Sister, I got to go. I got. If I was a woman and I'm out on a date with that man, okay, all righty, okay, all righty, been good knowing you. I thought check please. Okay, all right, this is good knowing you. Oh, you actually I'm a fist bump. Actually, here you go. Here you go. Okay, yeah. I got to go. Come on now. But see that right there, that's the man trying to let you know. He trying to let you know right there. He's saying, listen, I do something strange for a piece of change. Really what he trying to say is like, listen, he trying to say he is out here like Lil Nas X and what the boy named Billy Ocean or Frank Ocean. He trying to say that's how he feeling, and he want to know if you okay with it. That's all that is. That's all that is. So if a man tell you that, because listen, if the real reason a man that if that's the real reason the man did that, and he didn't want to do that, or he took that to his grave. So for a man to say that right there, oh yeah, he had him a little bit of fun. He was like, ooh. He had him a little fun. What else I could do for my kid? You got anything else I could do for my kid? My thing is I just wish people would choose. Just like, man, come on, choose now, because Don't be going over there and now you finna take that thing out of all that boo-boo and then go to that woman. You finna get that woman a UTI. You finna get that woman a UTI. You to come over from over there with that man, got all that feces, and now you finna come over here and get this woman a UTI. That's the thing. It's like, come on now. Just at least be respectful of humans and be like, okay, listen. That's why I just want guys to just, get that together. Like, come on now. Because what it's doing is it's confusing to the women, and then y'all getting in a relationship, and then the confusion happened, and then y'all had kids, and then the confusion happened, and then the woman got to be putting her set up with the Olympic swimmer. So it's like your man then went and got that swimmer, or Caitlyn Jenner. Imagine if you want to fight for yours and you got to square up with Caitlyn Jenner. You finna get wore out. You finna get wore out the frame. Caitlyn Jenner finna put all kind of paws on her man girlfriend. It's like, come on now. Oh no, I think they said Caitlyn like women. But it's getting real out here for y'all now. God bless you. God bless you. Cause I just would rather people be honest. Like, listen, and they done added letters to it. But I don't know what the new letters mean. They done added an I and an A. So I don't know what it means. But it's just, I wish people just to be honest. Because it ain't fair for a male or a female to want something of the same, but then deceive somebody of the opposite, and this person of the opposite think they getting love, and they want somebody of the opposite, but the person they with really want somebody of the same. It's like, just honesty is the best policy, and people just need to be straight up about how you're living, because you're gonna cause more problems than solve. Hi, Tony. I was dealing with a man who lied about dealing with multiple women. I found out and blocked him on everything. He contacted me from fake pages. It's been almost a year and he still won't stop. Why is that? He just don't want to lose. Some men can't stand a loss. Maria Tolliver, God bless you now. Jasmine, bless you now. Some men can't stand a loss. And I'm gonna tell you, a man who doing it, he don't want you that bad, because there's too many women. There's too many women in the world. He don't want you that bad. That's his ego. He chasing you out of ego, not out of heart. Because if it was out of heart and he really wanted you, you wouldn't have never been able to catch him in all that other stuff. Man I've been dating 6 months says he sees me as a wife. How long should I wait before expecting a proposal? You don't want to put no time limit on it, but I would say on average, a man who wants you, who ready, and he see you as a wife, it's going to be between month 12 and 24, which is a big window, but it's typically going to be between month 12 and 24. But what you have to realize is that a lot of men will say that too, to get you to drop your guard, to get you to get complacent. So you drop your guard and you're like, oh, this my husband, this going to be you telling yourself that's going to be your husband, and then you get on your bike. And if you are already on your bike, a man might say that to see if you're going to open your mouth, or if he's going to be able to enter or exit. He might say that to get you to go to the whatever your next level is. So whatever you ain't doing, if y'all doing everything between y'all, a man might say, oh, I see you as a wife, to see if you're going to let him bring a third leg in there, third party in there. So that's also a tactic. So you can't ever really listen to what a man say. You got to look at what a man shows. So if a man show you, then he going to be on one knee like Jagged Edge. How does it mean when man says to the woman he's dating that he's met his match? It don't mean nothing, sis. I think y'all be reading a little too much into it. It don't mean nothing. Some stuff, man, you got to understand. Men, we the same one that say, did it hurt? And you say, did what hurt? When you fell from heaven. Are you tired from what? Running around through my mind. Like, we the same ones that created that stuff. So y'all can't question everything a man say now. Some stuff is just conversation. He grew up with a computer and ain't really used to talking to women. So he just gonna say stuff. I remember this boy played on my football team in college. He used to tell his girl every day, "Girl, you gonna be the death of me." He was from PG County, Maryland. "Girl, you gonna be the death of me." I used to be like, "What? Why you keep saying that? Like, what do that mean? Like, did you grow up with your granddaddy? Like, who keep telling a woman, 'Girl, you gonna be the death of me'?" I said, if you ain't grow up with your granddaddy, I don't know who you grew up with, because don't nobody say that. So some stuff men just be saying, it's just a conversation piece. So y'all can't read into everything now. How to co-parent with child's father when I still have feelings for him? Says you're gonna have to cut them feelings off. You're gonna have to cut them feelings off. You're gonna have to hide them feelings. You're gonna have to take some acting classes. Is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to be Viola Davis and Angela Bassett, and you're just gonna have to, because you can't be susceptible like that. You can't be co-parenting and then be up the googly eyes. And if you want it to be a possibility of him liking you or y'all working it out, then you definitely can't be googly eyed, because if you googly eyed, he gonna look at you like, "I got you." You ain't gonna mean much to him, because he know you ain't going nowhere because he got you. Tony, how do I stop catching feelings so fast after meeting and spending time with a guy in less than a month? Says it's gonna be hard for you because you're already there, but the reason why is because you fantasizing about love even when you ain't got no man in your life. And then when you get a man in your life, you talk to him for an hour, you think about him for the other 23. Or if you sleeping 8 hours, you got 16 other hours in the day. If you talk to him for 1 hour, you think about him the other 15. And so you gotta get busy in your life, meaning you got to tap into your purpose, you got to tap into your company. You got to get going like that. And when you do that, then that's what's gonna help you not be so thirsty. Man, I've been dating 6 months. Okay, I seen that one. Y'all don't have to post y'all question twice now. I know some of y'all missed that, but this one allowed me to go in order. This here little system. Yes, yeah. Yes, it is. My ex-fiance listened to him. That's why we aren't together. He became aggressive and this, that. That's what it's doing. These men in the dark with these podcasts, that's what they're doing to these men. That's what they're doing. It's getting bad out here, I'm gonna tell you. No, I don't know. Now, Tony, talk about this spyware men using when they call women. They call your phone twice next to your camera. Next to your camera on the phone is active. Now, I heard about that now, but it's different ones work different ways. And that's why people be calling me like that too. People be doing me like that, trying to listen in, trying to get them an earful, trying to see if I'm cheating on my wife. I be telling my wife about that. And the reason why I know about that, because I know about it from women. Because I remember one lady told me that she got an app that she was able to tap her man WhatsApp and see all his outgoing messages, maybe it was. And then another lady told me she got an app that was like $80 a month that she was able to, you got to get access to her man's phone, but she was able to download the app on his phone and it hide in the background. It don't show on his app list, don't show on his phone. And she just always able to hear his microphone, like whatever being said. And so she say, while he's sitting in the car, he had another woman in the car, and he was cheating on her. And she was listening to their whole conversation because of the app she put on the phone. So because of me knowing that stuff is out there and that stuff is real, that's why I live my life 24 hours a day as if somebody listening to me. And that's just a lesson for everybody, because it's so much stuff out here. Anything that could be coded could be decoded. Ain't nothing safe, ain't nothing secure. So that's just a lesson for you, that your enemy, your ex, your friend, they're gonna have apps to where people could text you and then tap your phone. They're gonna have apps to where people could call you and got to talk to you so amount of minutes and could tap your phone. They're gonna have when people could FaceTime you and then tap your phone, and it just gonna be all that. And then the government, they of course they just doing it whenever they want to. Because I see people on news all the time, dope boys, that there was a wiretap on their phone, and they swore they just was the smoothest thing in the world, and them people just sitting there listening to everything. Oh yeah, oh listen to this fool. Oh, he fit to move 80 pounds to California. Oh man, he the up there. Hey, last time he had 40 pounds. Well, he out there hustling, boy. He really think he the paper route, huh? Okay, yeah, all right, we're gonna beat him right out there. And I don't know how they put because they never access the people phone. So the same way they tapping it, it got to be other people who could tap it at the phones, at the call center, at the thing. So that's how I live my life. I live my life like somebody listening to me 24 hours a day. If me and my wife having a deep discussion, I just pretend it's a third party in there, and they just sitting over there playing judge and jury. Like, oh yeah, she got Tony on this one. Yeah, she done won this one. Oh yeah, Tony got it on this one. And that's how hey, because at the end of the day, so that's real now. Y'all got to be, paying attention out there, male and female now. How can a female pinpoint the difference of a man who is truly busy working or with family, or if they are just entertaining other women? Like, what signs would a player show? Honestly, a player show the same signs as a faithful man. It's really, and that's why it just got to be trust. And if there is no trust, there is no relationship, because a faithful man can go to work and have to work overtime and literally be working overtime. Phone could die and don't have a charger, and then get off 4 hours late, come home, and a cheater could do the same exact thing. And just depending on that man and who he is will determine if what he was doing. Like, I just was in New Orleans and I was interviewing a young lady, and she in a relationship, she got a boyfriend and all that. But if my wife had no way of knowing that I'm in my hotel room alone, that I'm not with another woman, that I didn't fly another woman into New Orleans, that I ain't, do nothing with another woman, it just literally come down to trust. So a lot of times it ain't gonna be as blatant as you would think. Sharonda, you post your question. You came on here late. You posted that question 1,000,000 times. Funny you said that, Tony. That man in the dark said we should start promoting men being that what the man said. The man said that. Sister, some of the stuff I done seen y'all send me, I can't deny it. I can't say I'm shocked no more. Gina, God bless you now. God bless you. Now y'all make sure y'all put #Q in front of your question. Oh Lord. Sharonda, you came in here and post that question 90 times now, sister. Tony, my husband compares me to his bro's girlfriend. She's too nice. Caters to her man a lot and allows him to go places like Hooters. Now, I look like I'm just insecure and controlling. He calls that love. Now, sister, Hooters is not the strip club now. So, my mom and daddy was pastors, used to take us to Hooters because them wings. Now, if they blight, Marquez, y'all might be Hispanic. But now some black folk just love chicken wing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't think about it like that, because it's different if your man trying to go to the strip club. Now, Hooters, a lot of them women be in there, it don't be nothing to look at. It do not be nothing to look at, because a lot of them be just the flight is aboard back there. And that's what a black man into now. They just be just the flight as a board back there, and then just have all this right here. Like that ain't ain't everybody thing. You see what I mean? But nah, Wayne's good. Nah. So you can't be insecure. You got to have trust. Now it's different if a man trying to go literally look at booty clout, okay, and throwing money. That's different. But now somewhere to eat at, that kids is in there, the soccer team, the football team in there, celebrating they first place win in the Pop Warner League. Now that's different. That's sister now. So and you got to realize them women in Hooters now, that's the outfit now. Back in the day, when me and my basketball team used to go out to eat to celebrate the win, we used to push the napkin on the floor and say, "Excuse me, man, could you get that for me?" And so we could see her bent over. And she used to know what we was doing too. Grown behind woman. No, you know good and well you shouldn't be bending over for no little boys. But my homeboy, that's what he used to do. He used to push the napkin off the table and say, "Excuse me, man, could you get that for me?" And boy, we sit there and get us an eye full. But that's kid stuff. So that right there, but for a grown man, Hooters ain't nothing compared to what these men got access to on their phone. You know, the fans site and all the other site, the hub and all the other sites. Listen, if you can't shield a man from that kind of stuff, and you trying to shield him is actually gonna make him act out more. It's gonna actually make him do more. So the fact that my wife is not insecure, and that make me want to be even more straight and narrow, because I'm like, well, darn, why she ain't ask me no question? Now, what you got going on over there? I be trying to figure out what she got going on because she's so secure. And then one day I asked her, I'm like, why you don't be, when I'm on the road, like, why you don't be checking, like trying to see where I'm at? You don't even wait up for me. Like, you be done knocked out. And when I be home, she be the same way. Like, we'll go to the room. When I get off this, I go to the room. We'll be sitting there. She'll fall asleep with her phone in her hand. Like, she'll fall asleep and ain't plugged the phone in, and she just be tired. Just the mom life, getting up 5:00 a.m. every morning. And so, but that security, and I asked her one time, I said, why you don't check me when I'm on the road? Like, why you don't be where you at, what you doing, who you with? And she said, because if you cheat on me, that's your loss. She said, you'll be the dummy to cheat. So you're like, I'm not going to drive myself crazy trying to control your every action. So give you enough rope to hang yourself or help yourself. Point blank period. And we heard that a long time ago. Now, and then your brother, girlfriend, that's a little different too. You got to let your husband know, like, listen, she ain't got no ring. And there's Hunger Games out here. So she trying to do anything. You know, my next book is called Husband Material. But it ain't for all y'all. It's just for those in the Blessed Tribe and on the Patreon. The Blessed Tribes and the Patreon. It's called Husband Material, where I'm just exposing myself as a man, the things I struggle with, and the things I'm learning, the things we got to do, and the things that got to look for. The woman got to look for. How to balance following your God-given purpose with emotions of dating life. I'm 26 and having a hard time finding balance between them. Also, so much love for you and your family. You don't balance that, sister. You pursue your God-given purpose full-fledged 100%. And the man for you will tap you on your shoulder and ask you to take a time out for a second to hear him out. And then that's when you have the natural flow of that man being in your life with you pursuing purpose. But until that, and you should be so focused that the man has to get your attention. And that's what you got to realize. Hi, Tony. What would you say is the best way to grow my following? I've got social media and do reels daily. I do the same on my YouTube. Perhaps it just takes time. It does take time. It does take time today, especially they making it take longer. But the key is consistency. I got a course on called Social Media Mastery on Tony Gass's Academy. I'm gonna put the academy in here. Now, y'all, when you go to academy, use the code. I'm gonna put that in here. The code is happy15. That's my son's 15th birthday tomorrow. TonyGadsonAcademy.com code happy15. And I share my social media principles of what helped me get to 3.5 million people on social media. I share the principles. You can't really share like the trends because it changed. The algorithm changed all the time. But there are principles to brand building online that can help you as the trends and all of that changes. If you have some principles about what you're doing, you'll be able to weather the storms and grow over time. And you don't want fast growth. You want slow growth because you want it to be organic. You want it to be real people. If a man is intentional and says you are his wife, is less than a year okay for an engagement? It's a personal choice, and you got to know that you know that you know, and you got to really be feeling that man. You got to really feel that in your spirit. But I don't recommend it because I feel like a year is a good amount of time, and it's a safe time to get to know that man, to see if that man is the man for you, and vice versa, even with a man, because it take about 12 months to really see a person. And so I don't recommend getting engaged under a year, but if you feel it and he just springing on you, and when I say under a year, like 10 months is the same thing basically. Now, if a man come proposing at 6 months or less, then that's when it's really, but like 8 months to 12 months, you know, it's pretty close. But the thing about it is engagement is not marriage. So just because you get engaged, don't feel like you stuck. You don't feel like you got to go all the way through with it. You still get to jump ship if it ain't right. Says he liked me, talking on and off for 5 months, and also says he feel like if we were to be together, he feel like his happiness wouldn't matter because every time he do something, I leave for 2 to 3 months. Is he lying? What's this? Y'all only been talking on and off for 5 months. So it sounds like he done did something and you left for 2 months, and then maybe you came back and then you done left again. If you done had to leave that many times and you leave for 2-3 months, you wasting your time, sister. You wasting your time. And he right. He don't want you. What he want to do is hurt you. That man don't want you. That man don't want you. If you leaving a man if you leaving a man 2-3 months, and y'all have been on and off. The fact y'all have been on and off, and then you keep having to lead a man, yeah, that man don't want you. Go on about your business. Y'all ain't meant now. Do you think this relationship will work? I'm 51, he's 62. He work at sea. I'm stable on my job. He's wishy-washy and has health issues, but that's not everything to me. Sister, I would say a whole lot. I would say don't get weary and well doing. I would say, sister, keep wading in the water. Not his waters that he out there on. But sister, 11 years older than you, he got to be perfect. Because you're outside of the age range. You really don't want to be with nobody more than 10-year difference unless it's an exception to the rule. But he's nowhere near an exception to the rule because he out there working on the sea at 62 years old. He out there working on the sea. 62 years old. And then he wishy-washy and all that right there. No. But it let me know though that you're a good woman, because a woman who ain't worth much, they'll be trying to get with them, put a life insurance policy on them with their health. Can you be friends with someone you've been in a long-term relationship with before? X says he wants to start over but wants to establish a friendship first. I turned his friendship down. You did the right thing, because this was a long-term relationship. If it ain't working a long term, it really ain't meant to be. It really ain't meant to be. Kimberly, that was my bad on that now. Happened to me too. I deleted Snapchat immediately. Yeah, y'all got to get off that Snapchat now. The way my accent is, I really don't want to say your scream name. I'll be done messed you up. God bless you, though. I sure appreciate you. Been dating for 7 months. Communication is rough. Lots of debating about small stuff. Will it get better? No, no. He watching the man in the dark. Yeah, is a man out there cackling like that, and y'all cackling like some cats, and going back at it, pawing each other like some little cats, and y'all 7 months in, and communication already bad. Go on about your business. So he think he know too much. He's too sassy. He too sassy. You don't want no sassy man now. You don't want no argumentative, sassy man. Go on by. He wears fanny pack too tight. That man around there choking with that fanny pack. He around here with them camel toe jeans on. That's the man got them camel toe jeans on with a tight fanny pack and be cackling. Go on about your business. Run fast as you can. Fast as you can. Sister, that reality chat and told y'all now. I'm 23, virgin, preacher's kid, and a PR professional. At 23 years old, sister, you're a PR professional and building career, but not satisfied with dating prospects I've had. Is that normal? Should I be worried? Now, email me now about your PR professional. Now, I need me a little PR, a little freelance now. Ain't got no salary for you now. A little freelance now, a little PR. But not satisfied. And yes, sister, that's normal because you 23. You 23. And I'm glad to know that you're saving yourself, because that give me hope for my sons that they're going to be able to meet them a young lady that's saving herself. So I'm glad to know that, and I hope that if you can save yourself in this day and age, that it's going to be women that can save themselves. When my 15-year-old is 23 in 8 years, because he told me he waiting until marriage. And I was glad to hear that. And I hope he hold on to it too. Y'all give me 1 second. One second. All right, I'm back. Now I ain't gonna be on here too much longer now, about 15 minutes, depending on what my wife doing. She been in a good mood, boy. I'm gonna tell y'all as a husband, like, it just, I don't know what it is about my wife, but she got a short-term memory, in the sense of, if I do something wrong or whatever, I say something wrong and it upset her, she just get over it, like, quick. She get over it, within 24 hours. She never yell at me. She never curse at me. And I'm not the greatest guy. I have communication issues, just being blunt, being direct, with my sons and stuff, and just with people in general. I'm real direct. And I hurt people's feelings. That's I'm just a direct person. And my wife, she's just short-term memory. And one thing I noticed, though, I was sitting the other day, I was getting a bunch of text messages about my podcast. And my wife just was talking nonstop. She was talking nonstop, and she just be so excited and just be talking. And a lot of times I might be working, I might be doing something, and she just be talking. But that's just a sign to me of just joy, because we know when somebody ain't happy, they not finna be talking. And she'll talk about any and everything. And I'm just so proud of that. And you know what I'm finna start doing? Because a lot of times I might be doing something when she be talking. I'm finna start just shutting everything down, put my phone down, just be looking in the mouth. When she talking about this cat video, this reel she seen, I'm gonna be looking in the mouth. And I'm finna laugh so hard you can see all the back of my teeth. And I'm just finna just dive deeper in that because we got to strengthen these here relationships. Tony, do you think that holding onto toxic nostalgia and soul tie has women holding on to earnestness of love? Absolutely. That is what it is. And so it make it hard for women to accept real love and to accept a real man and a good man because of what you have become accustomed to from your past. Divorced and failed, now a single mom. I have a great job. Was also a provider. In school for a second degree. I just learned he is having a baby. Don't know how to feel. What should be my focus? Feel broken. Well, you got divorced in February. Well, we in April. All right, good. Well, sis, for one, you shouldn't feel broken because you're not in a new relationship pregnant. He the one in a new relationship with a baby on the way. He is broken because he didn't take the time to heal. You actually healing. So you can't let what he doing break you because they ain't got nothing to do with you. So you got to feel good that you healing, that you taking your time, that you in spaces like this, learning and growing and learning from other people's experiences. You doing the right thing. So you can't let his brokenness make you broken. Can't let his confusion have you confused because he not healing. He HOing. You see what I mean? I remember a guy had a book called that Men. It said men don't heal, we HO. And that was deep, that now. Let me see now. Jasmine Smith, God bless you now. Guy I'm dating went to visit out of state. He made it clear that he wanted the guy Adam will likely end it because it's suspect to me. He stayed 3 nights at his house. Thoughts? Now I'm starting to think y'all on here lying. Cause this here's strong. It's getting strong out here. My goodness. In Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all gonna be walking around with all kind of UTIs and STD. My goodness. Sister, listen, if a man wants a man, you got to run. Because listen, like you said, he made it clear that he wanted the guy you dating early. Because you got to run, sister. Because listen, if one of these men go to square up with you, it's gonna be a long night. Unless you got hands like Clarissa Shields and them, it's gonna be a long night. And you do not, as a woman, want to be fighting a man over a man. It's bad enough fighting another woman because she might be from the hood and putting hands on you. So you don't want to be fighting no man now. Cause just cause a man like a man, he's still strong now. He's still strong. And some of them be stronger because they've been lifting men up. So some of them be stronger than men who lifting a woman. Some of these men sister, you got to run now. If that's what a man want to do, go right ahead, buddy. Go right ahead. Can't have that man bringing back them thing feces, giving you no UTI. I be seeing that commercial about that monostat. Ain't that what that monostat for? Because of this right here. These men going over there and that man, and then coming. Y'all might have to start me out because y'all conversation, this stuff is getting too real. I'm gonna have to open me out, look private out, have a real adult conversation because y'all going through it out here. I cannot believe that these men coming and putting a feces stick on you. Boy, getting bad, boy. My goodness, it getting bad out here. Dating for 3 months. No, he is consistent. Calls daily. Dates every week. Asked me to be his girl, but I wasn't ready. I found out he had with a girl. I left. He is begging for forgiveness. Should I give another chance? Since that's a personal choice. Me personally, I wouldn't recommend also to put your icon picture on the phone so when you text call come visual. I asked that too. I see. Sis, I wouldn't this the thing. As a woman, when as a human, when you meet a man and y'all dating for 3 months and y'all ain't sleeping together and he consistent and he called daily and y'all date every week and he asks you to be his girl and you not ready, he not the one. Cause the man for you gonna heal your heart. The man for you gonna heal your heart. Jasmine, God bless you. If that man come and he doing all that and you don't feel no healing, you don't feel no sense of peace, they ain't your man. So go on about your business. Go on about your business. Okay, modern women create. That's why I figured somebody will come up with this term. Why do some men weaponize when they're also being disrespectful and rude to you? Sister, that's like, why is the sky blue? We ain't gonna understand everything about everybody. Why do I get complimented a lot, but no man pursues me or asks me out on a date? 27-year-old female. Now, what you want to do is check that energy now. You want to check that energy when they compliment you, because that might be the little test. So if you thank you. Mm-hmm. If that's how you doing, then they ain't gonna approach you. So it's all right to be friendly. Well, thank you. You single. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm a married man, but I always be looking at outfits. I check outfits. I text my wife. I seen this lady. She had on some some blight leather pants. She had on a white like dress shirt kind of, but it had an extra little thing on the back, and she had on some baby blue and white dunks with the black Nike check on it. And I text my wife, hey, I see a dope fit right here. Like the black pants, the white shirt with the baby blue and white. My wife went and Googled it, found all the outfits. So I walked up to the lady. I said, excuse me, man, could you tell me where you got your shirt from? And she said, Zara. She said, I actually got it from Zara. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't expect that. I said, what about the pants? She said, oh, these come from Nordstrom. They're like faux leather. I'm like, wow, okay. I said, I love your outfit. I said, I just was texting my wife about it. I said, I ain't lying now. I'm gonna show you. Here go the text. I showed her where she can see Queen, because that could be a corny pickup line for some guys. And so, but she was like, and when I tell you that lady, she said, thank you so much. Thank you so much for recognizing my outfit. Thank you. I was like, man, well, she got some good energy, because a lot of women will be like, I don't know. Excuse me. And so here's the thing. It's what I have noticed too, a lot of women, and it could be because you're tired. It could because you fed up. It could because you're tired of the games. But a lot of women now, especially women of color, if a man give you a compliment, a man say something, y'all be turning your nose up. Y'all tucking your purse extra hard and then go to speed walking. And so it's like, listen, it's a quote that says, it says success comes from going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. So when you have bad experience, you got to reset. You got to heal. Just like I tell my athletes that I mentor, next play, reset. Every time you cross half court, reset. Every time you cross half court, reset. One play at a time. Win the possession, and you can win the game. Don't try to take it all at one time. You got to reset. Okay, break up. Okay, the man ghosted you. Okay, the man played you. Reset. because you want to be at your best and at your full energy when you meet your husband. Don't let bombs break you down, and then you meet your husband and you giving your husband bad energy. What is it? And you doing all that, and then your husband, he trying to, and so now here you is talking to your husband, but because you done went through 10 bombs, now your husband like, oh wow, yeah, she jaded, she scorned, she torn, but she tore up from the floor up, man. Let me go on about my business. And he move on with his life and he picked the next woman. And then you look up on Facebook and the man that you gave all the energy and attitude to, you see him walking down the aisle. You like, man, what the world I did? So you have to also make sure that it's not your energy. Make sure you operate in the right way. Child father out of state, seen our 1-year-old 2 times. Didn't come the first B-day. I miss FaceTime call. Next day text, when can I see my son? Doors always open. Makes no effort. Why trying to make me look like a bag? That is hilarious. That man show up 2 times and then gonna text, when can I see my son? Boy, look here. He probably text that for a screenshot to send somebody on the text on social media. Yeah, I text him back. You ain't came to see him but 2 times in the whole year and missed his first birthday. Screenshot, just so when it come back to you, that when can I see my son, like you holding your son hostage, you got that right there, what you told him. Boy, shout out, boy. I'm gonna tell to every woman who ain't had no child, take that as a lesson now. Y'all got to stop randomly choosing seeds from these men. Now you can't just let any man put no seed in you. Now you got to be a little more selective. Part 1, my ex-fiance and I split up. Now, sister, listen now, we ain't got all these parts now, sister. Come on now, ain't gonna be able to find part 2 now. All these messages in here now. Part 1, my ex-fiance and I split a year ago. I closed the business and raised our 3 kids, all under 6, alone. He had heaven. I blocked all contact with him. He wants me back and is now in rehab. Sister, let him go through that rehab. Let him come out on that other side of rehab. Let him get him a job. Let him have his sponsor. Let him get on his feet. Let him do right for a year, 2 years before you even consider that. And if you still single and he still clean, he clean for a year, and you could be around him a few times with the kids, and you could feel and tell he clean, and that's a different story. That's a different story. Hey, I'm gonna be on here about 3 more minutes now. Starting to way down. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, I did part 2. And trying to get me back in marriage, but his family is poor-minded, tossing his child outside of me is very coming over while we were together. You did the right thing, sister. You did the right thing. To the new members, God bless you. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. I ain't see none of the moderators on here tonight. Why do I constantly attract men who are looking for emotional support or someone to uplift them constantly? It's draining to me, and I have been called cold because I push away from pouring so much. Now, cold is totally different. So you got to make sure that you are not drained from a man who requires so much of you, and you got to replenish yourself and refill yourself now, because that sounds like exception to the rule. Now, ain't no grown man gonna want that much affirmation to where you drain like that now. So he definitely different. He did, whoever did that to you, he definitely different. So, understand that right there now. Understand that right there. One of my guys, they text me, but I always text me at the wrong time. I'll be tied up and then I'll be forgetting. Holy. Hi, Tony. What should I do if my guy is overly attached to his mom, but says I'm number one? Hold or fold, year 3. Year 3. To be honest with you, sis, I really don't understand guys who heavily attached to their mom, because I was raised with my mom and dad, in the household, and me and my mama, we talk like on text every day. Um, or almost every day she texts me, but on the phone we might talk once or twice a month. And it just because just me having a family and just me ripping and running and having, dealing with so many people, I don't get to talk to her on the phone as much. And so I just never really understood men who real close to their mama like that. But I guess just different personalities. And it's like, if it's not affecting you, if it's not like he's not comparing you to his mom, and you don't do this like my mama, you don't do that like my mama, and his mama not coming and giving you advice and telling you, hey, you need to do this for my son, you need to treat my son like this. If she ain't overstepping boundaries, it ain't nothing like that then. But I would say in this year 3, this kind of it's coming back that time, to put up and shut up, because that's a little long. That's a little long. And see, Jasmine, it popped up at the top, but on the feed here, I'm just not getting to it. What does it mean when a guy questions a woman's emotions? So he'll be shocked by something and he'll say shocked. Is that manipulative instead of acknowledging the woman's feelings? Question a woman's emotions. It's just a Jedi mind trick, just to see if you're gonna flip it up, flip the script. How do I hold a man accountable or express my needs without nagging? His nagging is just, perspective on how the man see it. But if you express your needs in a conversation, then that's how you do it. That's not saying the same thing every day, getting loud with it, arguing with it, cussing with it. That's nagging. But now you shouldn't have to express something too many times, at least no more than 3 times for a man to get it. How does a person earn money with a podcast? What is the earnings potential? There is no cap on your earnings with a podcast, because it just, if you're on YouTube, then views. So you get paid, by your monetized views. So if you get 1 million views, or you get 10 million views, and the more views, the more pay. And then with the advertisement, it's the more you get, the more downloads you get, the more listeners you have, then the more money you get paid. So if you got 10 listeners, I'm gonna pay you $1 to promote my company. And you get 1,000 listeners, I'm gonna pay you $10. And you get 100,000 listeners, I'm gonna pay you $100. It's like that. You get 1 million listeners, I'm gonna pay you $1,000. So it goes up as you go up. By the way, course are excellent, Tony. God bless you now, Kimberly, for taking my course, giving that old chance. There's so many fake shammy courses out here that courses take a bad name sometimes. Do you believe in breaks? Been with my boyfriend for almost a year, and he would like to personally grow so he can be better for us. We love each other, but communication has been weird. Thank you. No, I don't believe in breaks, because it happens. Me and my wife had it was kind of like a break, but it really was her breaking up with me. But it wasn't. But even that, it wasn't pure. It wasn't intentional. It was because she was getting hounded, by her ex-boyfriend, and then I was acting crazy. I was acting insecure. So it wasn't like we was taking a break. It really like we was breaking up, and we just so happened to get back together 6 months later. But it really wasn't a real break, because we didn't talk at all in that time, and we really had no intention of coming back together. It just so happened, because this is what God had for us. But I don't believe in breaks, because in a marriage, you cannot run from your problems. You got to work through your problems. You got to sit down, you got to put your head together, and you got to work through it. So that's why I don't believe in breaks. Now, one, okay, like the reset, but it should literally be no longer than 2 weeks. And you really shouldn't have multiple breaks. You have one break or something like that, that's different. Hey, we done went an hour and a half, it looked like it say. So God bless you. I really appreciate y'all. Make sure you don't forget to use that code, because I got it up for you. Happy 15. Last month, my 15th anniversary. Tomorrow, my son's 15th birthday. And so that's why, yeah, I just left it the same. But it gives you 50% off your next course. And I honestly do that. I'm honestly doing that because I just heard from a lot of people just about the financial strain. You know, Joe stopped giving them stimulus checks and them stimulus checks and that unemployment, and people went to looking strange. So because of hearing so many people ask for payment plan, that's why I just made a code. And then each month I try to make some kind of code just to help out. Even though my course is already priced 50% of what the competition pricing their courses anyway. So you're really getting 90% discount. But hopefully it'll bless you. And everything I do, life, love, and business. And if you need a coach or consultant, make sure you get on mymentor.life. Mymentor.life. I'm on there as well. I'm getting ready to close my session though on probably Friday, Lord willing. Yeah, that's me typing. Yeah, everybody, yeah. Everybody can't type like that. Yeah. That's me typing. I'll put the link to my podcast channel. So I'm loading up these podcasts and be releasing soon, Lord willing. It's causing an arm and a leg because I like to fly. I'm flying to the people. I'm flying to the people, driving to the people. I'm going to their events. I'm going around their city. I'm filming in their city, you know, getting B-roll footage and sitting down with them in their house. And so from state to state. So I've been in Texas and Georgia and got Alabama coming up, New Orleans, Louisiana, got New York, California. So I'm going all over. So it cost me an arm and a leg, and I'm doing it, you know, with the help of the Patreon supporters and the Blessed Tribe and Blessed Business Tribe supporters. You know, that's extra like a blessing to me. So that helped me do little projects like these that can just add to the lessons and the greatness that people are getting. You know, we extracting the greatness out of people's story. So, hey, God bless y'all, and we will talk soon. Can't think of nothing else. And if we had some moderators on here, I ain't really get to see the moderators, but I don't know if I got on here. Oh, what that go share look like. But I don't know if it working on here. But I sure appreciate y'all. God bless you, and we'll talk soon. This right here got everybody with a green thing. I know everybody ain't green, huh? This one here ain't showing all the different colors. No, it's not normal. But for a lot of men, it is. I ain't see that, sister. Forgive me, I missed that when you put that. So let me make sure I seen everybody who sent one of these. Your blessings in here. Okay, yeah. See, I'm gonna try to scroll to the bottom. Okay, yeah. Trying to answer those. Let me see. Man, these messages a lot more than I thought was in here. I'm scrolling for days. So let me see if I seen you at that restaurant now. That might have was me, might not was me. Yeah, that was me. If it was the chicken spot, but see, listen, sis, I'm putting business out there now. Because I wasn't supposed to be eating that fried chicken. Was it fried chicken? Because it was about midnight after the trap karaoke. I went to trap karaoke because I met the gentleman who owned it, who founded it, with my interviewee introduced me to the gentleman. So I walking past that good fried chicken. I had to step in there and get a little bit of that calorie-free fried chicken. So put my business in the street. But and then let the people know now I was by myself too. Wasn't out there cheating. But yeah, I was tearing that chicken up midnight. I was on treadmill today. I'm trying to walk it off. Hey, God bless y'all, and we'll talk soon.